my potato sack sweater, which I usually crack out sometimes in the fall because it's a giant sweater that looks like a potato sack, but it's really warm. So anyway, that's what we're not talking about today. We're not talking about my sweater. We're going to talk about selfishness and art. So one of my favorite books on creativity that I just recently re-listened to is Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. I actually like pretty much everything she's written. I don't know, she's a great author. I resisted reading Eat, Pray, Love for a very long time because I thought it was going to be terrible. And say what you will about it, I thought it was great. So, but this is also not a video about Elizabeth Gilbert. With Big Magic, she discusses the role of creativity, the magical nature of it, the mystical nature of it. And one thing that she spoke about that really struck me was how with art, it's important that you create art that comes from yourself, that you're not writing from a place of, I totally have hair going in my eyeball right now, so don't mind me if I blink a lot. Okay, there we go, got it out. That you're not creating art from a place of like wanting to help people. Like, I'll get there, because I know that kind of sounds bad. But if you're wanting to help people and that's like your primary motivation, like I'm going to create art that helps you, then that puts an unnecessary burden on the person who's receiving your art. It makes it heavy. It creates an expectation. So the person who's receiving that art, whether it be a piece of writing or a piece of music or whatever it is, feels the burden and this pressure of, oh, I need to be helped by this. Or it's like, it creates sort of like this give and take when someone is like forcing themselves to help you. The help doesn't really feel as well received. When I think about the art that's moved me, and the help that I've received gladly, it's not because another person is trying to like force their help down my throat. It's because they're just there and they understand. So the most powerful music to me, for example, is music that I feel is touching on something authentic and real within the person who created it. So an author who writes something straight from their spirit, something that they're really just the truth that they're experiencing inside of themselves, that has a more profound impact on me than if someone were to basically set out on a mission like, I'm going to help you with this. Here we go. And yeah, because that just creates a layer of pressure. It's one of those like energetic things. I don't know that I could actually pinpoint it, but I do know that, that the art that I like the most has a certain authenticity specifically from that person. So one thing that I've struggled with a lot as an artist is art seems like a totally selfish pursuit. You're basically just gratifying your own impulses to chase the muse, to capture something magical and translate it into the crude, real world. And it does feel selfish because, you know, there's nurses and doctors and people doing things that actually have a real tangible benefit in the world. They're like literally helping people. They're literally saving lives and like literally making the world a better place. Whereas an artist, it's like you're just going inside of yourself and trying to access something true, but it's still going inside of yourself. Even if you connect to like a deeper truth that has resonance among many people and not just yourself, it's not the intent to find a deeper truth that resonates with everyone. It's the desire to know yourself and better understand reality. At least that's my relationship with art. So I've often had a little bit of a struggle with that. There's a little bit of like a mental dissonance in that I want to do good in the world. I want to be of service and I want to help people, but the skills that I have, the talents and my interests and what I gravitate towards all have a very self-focused aspect to them. So whether it's creating music or writing, as I was talking about in yesterday's video, my intense desire for self-expression, it is self-focused. So I've struggled with that. But one thing that's helped me see, I suppose the value in that is just by realizing that by doing that inner depth soul plunging, like it's a big ocean or something in there. It's like, I don't know, deep sea diving of the soul or something like that. It makes me realize that by doing that work, which benefits me, it also benefits other people, like, at least in theory, because again, the art that I really admire and respect is art that is evidence of the author plunging their own soul's depths. So you can be selfish when you're creating art, but I want to use a different word than selfish, because I feel like there's too much of a negative connotation, because sometimes I think that what's best for you, like what's truly best for you, what's best for me, is what's best for everyone. So it wouldn't make any sense for me to be a doctor. I have no inclination to do so. It's not in my nature. Everyone kind of has a different inclination and a different nature. So what makes the most sense and what feels like it would be of greatest service to the world is to honor my own inner nature, and that nature is to express myself, to plunge the depths. And I hope that it will have a benefit to the world, that it will impact people, even if it's just like one or two people. But it is ultimately, we have to come up with a better word than selfish. Like, it is ultimately a selfish pursuit, but one that I feel like if I am doing the thing that is best for me, then it does end up being what's best for the world. So anyway, Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert is a great book, and she articulates these points a lot better than I do in my own language. But that was just something I was thinking about this morning, so I wanted to share it with you. If I'd be curious to know, like, if you guys have this, so the artists in the audience, like, if you kind of have this internal debate, like, is it worth spending my time creating things when I could be out there in the world making like a real difference, struggling with the idea of actually being able to make a real difference as an artist. That's something I've carried with me for many, many years, and I expect that I have a long way to go still in removing my mental blocks about being an artist. But yeah, I'd love to know your guys' thoughts, and I'll catch you tomorrow.